Well, folks, today we got a whole lot of conspiracies and creepy TikToks. Yay! Lock yourselves in the basement, hide your kids, hide your wives, and like this video, subscribe if you're brand new. Check this.
YouTube,
Roll it.
Looks like robbed my house, but it actually turns out he is a time traveler. Let me show you that. I literally can't even make this up. Like, if I wanted to make this up.
He's looking super sus, like he's being chased during an apparently time traveler, okay?
That blows my mind. This just happened yesterday. So as you can see, he's wandering around my backyard. I don't know what he's trying to do. Now he's like thinking like where to go, and he actually ends up going into my shed. So you see he opens it, goes into the shed. So
now somebody's definitely gonna say you should have bought locks and put it there. Yeah, absolutely.
Fast forwarding the time so you can see there's no movement. He never leaves the shed. And I'm talking on the camera. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you in my shed? Never answers. He never leaves the shed. I literally was watching it the whole time.
Oh my god. So yeah, the conspiracy is that he was watching it, called the cops, but the guy that went inside never comes out though. Oh shit! Oh, yay! That's a crazy plot twist.
So I end up calling the police. You can see in the last one, the police coming through the front yard, and then here's the police coming into the backyard. And you can see they literally go inside. They go inside, and I'm talking to them. Then they go inside again. Like, they're inside there. And they come out, and he's not there.
Oh my god.
Like, I've been watching this backdoor camera the whole entire time, and he never left. I really watched the camera the whole time. He never left. Police didn't see.
Yeah, maybe he left when you blinked or something, right? Like you cannot constantly stare at it. You need to blink, and perhaps he used Naruto special skills and he did a Naruto run. You never know.
Him in there, and like it blows my mind. Like, I don't know if there's a tunnel in my shed in the backyard. I don't know if he teleported. I don't know where this guy went or why he went in there.
Now, honestly, jokes aside though, crazy. If this is true, and if there was no way for him to get out of there, and basically the entrance was the exit, he goes inside, never comes out, police is called, they don't find anything. Crazy story.
Shed. Let me know what you think, because I'm like perplexed.
I'm baffled.
This one's interesting because taken at face value, it looks like the guy's just making this up. But if he were making it up, he wouldn't have gotten the law involved. So,
yeah,
you know, taking that into consideration lends some credibility to his story. No clue as to why this guy supposedly entered his shed and then disappeared.
Yeah,
but the guy did release an update. I haven't watched it yet. We're gonna watch it together.
Maybe he wanted to like go on. Maybe this was his way to time travel, or you know, going on a different dimension. Update on time traveler that went into my shed.
An update regarding the time traveler that went into my shed and disappeared.
Okay.
And this is gonna blow a lot of people's minds. And if you're still denying that this is real at this point, this is gonna change your mind. So just a quick recap. This guy walks around my backyard, goes to my shed, opens the door, goes inside, and disappears. Called the cops. The cops came. They went in the shed twice. He wasn't in there. They looked. I looked like an insane guy. The cops were like, what is this guy smoking? And you can see he never came back until the next day right here. Notification on my camera that there's somebody in my backyard, and this guy leaves my shed. And he looks right at the camera too. That guy left my shed. But here's the craziest part. This looks like the same guy, maybe.
No way! So yeah, it was like a young dude, and now he's coming out of it, and he's old. Nah, don't tell me what I'm thinking right now. Please don't confirm what I'm thinking in my mind right now.
Glasses, whatever. Let's look at the other guy. This was the other guy.
No.
He noticeably aged. Looks like the same guy, but aged. So him again, and now him.
Oh my
Same
God.
facial features, whiter hair. So
okay, I didn't plan to be mind blown today, bro. Like, I thought that this is, yeah, we're gonna have good conspiracies, we're gonna have good videos, oh hell yeah, absolutely. But I wasn't expecting all of this, dog. I wasn't expecting all of this. Guys, before we get to the main event here, real quick, I wanna say if you do use Twitter, Instagram, these are my Instagram, Twitters, links are always in description. I will pin it in the comments as well, just in case, you know, this is gonna be the way to communicate as well. I would definitely love to have you, whether you use Instagram, Twitter, or both, or just one of them. I would love to have you there. All right, let's get back to the content now, boo-boo.
I don't even know what to think at this point. Somebody explain this. He literally left the same shed. You saw the camera I put before.
Yeah.
There was no movement that whole night. Then
He
the
looks,
next day, this guy leaves the shed, looks right at the camera like he knows, and he looks noticeably older. I don't know, something's going on. Somebody explain what's going on in my shed. I'll be going there in about a week to give a tour, since a lot of people are asking. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, I don't even know what to think. Did he time travel? Is this a different person? Who is this new guy? Is it the same guy? Let me know what you think, because this blew my mind.
Clearly,
know,
it's
bro.
a different dude.
Oh, no, man.
It is interesting how closely they resemble each other, and that he's only got video footage of one guy entering the shed, and he only has video of the other guy.
The guy
leaving
coming
the
out.
shed.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, that's why I put it in here, because it's unexplainable and it's interesting, but I have no idea.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
I'm at the
Yeah.
Giza pyramid. I know it doesn't look like that because I'm too damn close to it. But I wanted to show you something. And I didn't realize this, and I never read this in any, like, books. They never told me that these rocks, especially the ones on the bottom of the pyramid, are full of crustaceans. Literally chock full of crustaceans from the ocean. But anyways, all these giant stones here are literally pulled directly from the ocean. So some people are like, oh, they brought the rocks from here. No, this is directly from the ocean. So that adds another layer of mystery of like, how the hell did these people 7,000 years ago take these giant rocks from the bottom of the ocean
Man.
and then bring them here?
It was the aliens. It was the aliens. It was. No, seriously. Who do you think made the pyramids? Was it just like the slaves? Was it just somehow? I guess a better way to put it this way is a better way to put it is gonna be like, okay, people working together and made pyramids. Okay, but for what reason? What purpose? Or do you think the aliens made it? What
And then
purpose?
so many of them, 2 million of them, right? I'm not joking. All of them are the same. They're all made with these crustaceans, just full of stuff from like the earth. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that? Why is that not in the history books? Why does it say that they come from this quarry somewhere? That's not from a quarry. That is from the ocean. Like, I guess maybe that quarry could have also been in the ocean. That would make sense now. Can you
Yeah.
explain? No, we literally just.
I'm baffled right now, bro. I am baffled. Strange, isn't it? Like my name was James from That Is Impossible. Really baffled right now. Hashtag baffled gang. Hashtag baffled gang, bro.
Stones are like made from coral reef in like the middle of the ocean, and then I kind of look down, and I see that this rock is here. It's literally right here. So this was the bottom of the ocean. This entire Giza plateau was clearly a part of the bottom of the ocean. So these rocks didn't come from miles and miles away.
They were
And
here.
they did come from the bottom of the ocean, but this is the bottom of the ocean. It's right here. You can see all the crustaceans. You can see the ancient life forms all over the floor, and it as deep as you could imagine. And then you go to the rocks.
Okay, I'm finding this fascinating as well. And this is the first time I'm hearing this angle and perspective on the pyramids right now. Like, this is my first time hearing this. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Any expert in the chat? I want to know your thoughts too. Any NASA scientists? I mean, if you're a NASA scientist, you're probably not gonna tell us the truth. So, give them on. No, I like you. I love you being here as well. But like, we get it. You cannot tell us the truth. We get it. We understand. Okay, we get it. But
And it's the exact same rocks. Look, full of crustaceans, you see? Full of ancient sea life. And then we go over to the wall, and it's the same. Full of crustaceans.
I gotta scratch my nipple.
So I guess that kind of solves that mystery. They just got the rocks right fucking here. Oh look, they probably even dig them up right here. You can see like the squares where they're trying to dig.
Yeah.
God, I should be an archaeologist.
Holy.
So what this makes me think of is, with him pointing out that these things appear to have been underwater, the more information that comes out about these flying crafts and things, the more I'm convinced that they're coming from underwater. So I found this very interesting because it is another piece of the puzzle that points in that direction. Hey, If you're enjoying this video and you
Like
like
and
this kind
subscribe.
of content, I make a new one just like it every other day. It'd be awesome if you'd hit that subscribe button and come back in a couple days to join me.
The most
hell yeah.
famous
Hell
story
yeah.
in all of history is for some reason looked on as a made-up myth. Can we prove if the Great Flood actually happened? This is history. Shit happens. People, typically the victors, record what happens. Future generations read those records and accept them as fact. The more often a certain event gets recorded, especially among cultures that had no influence among each other, the more likely it is that it actually happened. Starting with the most popular book in the world, the Bible, with the story of Noah's Ark. The world gets flooded, and man is told by God to build a giant ship to save every animal on the planet and rebuild civilization from scratch.
Yeah, 2012 movie is also kind of like based on this, right? And most of the religions and also like stories, whatever you want to call it, a lot of stories, religions, yeah, they do talk about like flood, and this is like one way how the earth has ended before. It's gonna happen again and again, and you build a ship, you take like one pair of each species, and then I guess ciao, good luck, boo, bye. You know, you just gotta wait for the flood to calm. You go somewhere, find land, settle there, and then it's like, yeah, everybody's doing Easter eggs, then the world gets populated, and then you have the Great Reset, and now it's like rejuvenation, right?
Hindu mythology has the story of
Resurrection,
Manu,
kind of.
who's warned of an impending worldwide flood, builds a boat to survive, and keeps humans from going extinct. Ancient Mesopotamia shares the Epic of Gilgamesh, which was allegedly written before the Bible, where a guy is told a global flood is coming, builds a vessel to save humanity. In Greek mythology, Zeus gets angry, floods the earth. Prometheus helps a man and his wife build a boat and restart civilization. Chinese legends have the Great Flood of Gunyu. Mayans had the civilization resetting flood of the god Huracan. The Incas from South America that predate the Mayans had the Ulu Pachacuti, a great flood that wiped out a race of unruly people. Native American tribes all had their own versions of a great flood that cleansed the earth. Polynesian cultures have the story of Niu'u, who built an ark and sea gods flooding the earth, among many other similar tales. African cultures have a variety of flood myths with the same thematic elements. Even Aboriginal Australians have legends like the Bundaba flood with the exact same story arc, all of which end with select chosen ones surviving the flood and rebuilding society on Earth. Dude,
Yeah.
these stories of floods are obviously just made up myths that all coincidentally share the same plot. If they were real, they'd be in my history textbook. We're not allowed to question history, bro. We obviously already know everything. Well, it's a good thing they didn't just find an archaeological site in the shape of a massive ship in a similar location and age as some of the recorded flood stories. Oh wait, they did. Uncovered in Turkey. 3D scans done on site revealed a man-made structure beneath, with remains of wood in the shape of a boat and measurements similar to that of the flood myths, along with fossilized rivets and petrified deck timber, materials typically only used to build boats. Then you have countless places around the world.
Okay, how long did they find out? Like how long that quote-unquote human-made ship was buried there for? For how long? How many years we're talking? Thousands? Gotta be in the thousands, but how many? How many we're talking? When exactly?
World with geological evidence of immense flooding hundreds of times more powerful than any water flow we've ever witnessed. You've got the Camas Prairie in Idaho, the Dry Falls Formation in Washington, and Dry Creek in Montana have landscapes that were carved with water flows 10 to 20 times greater than every single river on Earth combined. Intense water erosion around the Sphinx in Egypt. The Sahara Desert is filled with these ripples, potentially indicative of colossal, widespread flooding. Same with Warburton Creek in Australia, which has even got salt deposits. Geologists found evidence of intense flooding along the Yellow River in China. Aerial scans reveal monumental flood progression throughout all of South America. Fossils of fish found as high as the Himalayan mountains, all of which has only become visible to us within the last 100 years through technology like satellites. So maybe historians are
Damn, they found like the fish remains like around Himalayas, as tall as, I guess, somewhere near Himalayas, right? So gotta be super, or in Himalayas. Himalayas are huge. I don't know, for some reason I was thinking Mount Everest, but Himalayas as a whole is huge. So they found there. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So basically, in other words, saying like water was there, right? Like, or flood happened there, and somehow like a fish got stuck there, and we found the remains. Crazy.
just too stubborn to rewrite their books after clinging to them for so long. This all leads to what is called the Younger Dryas Impact Theory, a proposed global event that caused significant shifts in human culture around 11,000 BC. I mean, it's clearly not 100% proven, just speculation with a mountain of evidence, which is, in a sense, what all of history is. None of us were there when any of this happened, so we have to look at historic records, archaeology, and geological evidence and make rational...
Yeah. It's the same thing with dinosaurs, right? Some people don't even believe it, but generally speaking, most people believe it. The reason being, we have their bones, right? Their structures. We have the bone structures, but none of us were there to witness them. We don't know how they look like. We just assume that's how they look like. The way that we see it in movies, TVs, books, and right, we have their structure, don't get me wrong, we have the bones, so they tried their best to kind of like make them, but were their skins actually gray or that color? I don't think none of us know though, honestly, right? How do you determine what their skin color was it like really brown grayish or some? Yeah, could be. Imagine it was like pink or colorful. I don't know, like probably not, but you know what I mean, right? Like none of us were there, and we don't even know how it all started. We assume, theorize, assumptions, speculation, but it'll be what it be.
Conclusions.
But you know the craziest thing here is that not sure how long this rock is gonna be around for, but now that we have the internet, I guess like if the planet is around like in the next thousands of years, and the internet is around, then of course a lot of people would be, you know, hey, in the future somebody's probably gonna go back easily and gonna be able to easily pull up videos and stuff and news and things that happened, let's just say early 2000s, 2010s, the 2020s. Right now we're in the 20s, right? 2020s, 2024, 2020s. So people are gonna be able to come back to this time period and find stuff online, which would be very, very easy, highly accessible, and I guess a lot more accurate, kind of, right, if that makes sense. But back in the days, I mean, you didn't have the internet, and I'm talking like, okay, 11,000 years ago, bruh, like, yeah, no, none of us, yeah, that's just insane.
From that. But you Google debunkers, feel free to stitch this into your own little debunking video, because I invite all perspectives on every topic. The question remains, why would they even want to hide historic discoveries like this? I don't know about you, but I feel like the idea of an inevitable civilization resetting global cataclysm wouldn't sit well with anyone and likely cause worldwide anarchy. Even billionaire John D. Rockefeller, who funded the General Education Board in 1903, is infamously quoted as saying, "I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers." So when you have countless retellings of the same story spanning multiple cultures around the world who never made contact with each other, archaeological evidence that may or may not be remnants of artifacts from these stories, and
they need workers, they need slaves. Without the workers, without the slaves, without us, they cannot make the money. Without us, they're nothing. And this is why they don't want you to be a free thinker, man. This is the reason.
Logical patterns that align with the events that took place in these stories. It's obviously just a myth, yet not a single record of the Egyptians actually building the pyramids themselves, easily the greatest achievement of their civilization. And somehow that's a historical fact, but this isn't. What do I know? I'm just a dumb online misinformation theorist, right? I prefer to quote Einstein instead. Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think.
Yeah.
I remember reading years ago.
Yeah, school is the greatest, the education system is the greatest scam ever. It just programmed people to be slaves. They want to make factory workers. They don't want to make free thinkers. I mean, those suckers don't even teach anything about life, like general stuff, right? They don't even teach you stuff about taxes, which I would, like, listen, I would say, like, they should, you know, how to do your taxes, how you can save money, general life advice. Hey, like, imagine you get stuck in like a camp, not a camp, what am I saying, in a forest, how do you survive that, you know, like basic like survival. There gotta be like some survival stuff too. But nah, man, we want to make you like a factory worker, we want to make you a slave. Yeah, when you grow up you gotta work for that company. Yeah, that one, yeah, exactly, that one. Your salary is gonna be this much per hour, and this much would be owed to the government, and all that. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
A newspaper article that was talking about our genes and how the variety in our genes, when they did the math and traced everything back, would have come from only 8 people. And that they believe that at some point there was a larger population that bottlenecked down to just 8 people, and then our current civilization or current population bloomed out from those 8 people, those 8 individuals.
Crazy.
I don't know if there's any truth to that. I bring it up because it's another example of potential evidence pointing toward a great flood that wiped everything out. I'm a total believer in the Younger Dryas theory and the idea that this has happened multiple times and reset civilization, and that it will happen again. I don't know that this necessarily proves the tale of Noah's Ark or any of these other tales.
You know, I wonder, like, if it happened before, I wonder if that, like, people then had something like the internet to kind of, like, put it there. But it's like, your flood happens, even if you had like infrastructure, data, storage, internet, all of that would be wiped out, right? Because everything would be destroyed, kind of.
It doesn't necessarily
But what if they had like something like the internet back then?
prove any specific one. You have a very large number of these stories that all have similar details, but they're all different in a sense, as far as who the person was manning the boat or building the boat, who went along for the ride. All these details and stuff are going to be different, so you can't say that any one of those stories is accurate. Just that there's got to be some truth to all of them, or at least that there's enough evidence to indicate that there is some truth to it.
Another whistleblower just unexpectedly passed away, and this is about to get...
I heard about this earlier. I heard about this. Twitter was like blowing up. Those of you that don't know the context, like there was a first person. Yeah, now they're saying second because there was another guy. First, somebody, I don't know the name, but a guy comes out. I believe he was a higher up at Boeing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was a whistleblower that said some things about Boeing, that it's not safe. It's not safe. And guess what? He passes away magically. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! In good health. Right, just passes away. Now, second whistleblower passes away too.
Get swept under the rug again. I don't understand how no one is talking about this right now. The first man that passed away was working for Boeing for 32 years and unexpectedly passed away due to self-inflicted wounds days after his lawsuit against Boeing. Now, just a few days ago, a man named Joshua Dean, a former auditor of a Boeing supplier, suddenly died from an illness. This man was said to be in good health and had a very healthy lifestyle, and he was only 45 years old.
Crazy.
But listen to this. Dean filed a complaint with the Labor Department alleging that he was fired for raising concerns with the safety of these aircrafts. So two men who decided to actually speak up about the safety concerns about the production of these aircrafts did something about it, and then they both unexpectedly passed away. And still, no one's reporting about it.
I don't see how John Barnett's death is not being investigated. As far as modern times go, it is like the clearest example of somebody being Clintoned. The guy was out there telling everybody, I'm happy, I'm not suicidal, I'm not going to hurt myself, and then he ends up exactly what he was worried about, dead in his car in a parking lot. I think his death needs to be investigated, and I think just because of the sheer level of incidents that's happening with Boeing right now, and the fact that their first whistleblower died the way that he did, I think the second one needs to be investigated as well.
Yeah, coincidence? I don't think so, guys.
What are the odds that they would get that lucky that both whistleblowers would die? One by his own hand and one from some mysterious disease or illness?
I don't think coincidence,
Vatican City is an inspirational place. You don't need to be Catholic or even religious to appreciate the architecture, the art, and the city's historical significance. But there is a place within the Vatican that's rarely seen. Hidden beneath the city is an underground fortress, inaccessible to the public and protected by armed guards and state-of-the-art security. The secret apostolic archives. Within the stone and steel reinforced walls are vaults, climate-controlled rooms, and over 50 miles of shelves. And on those shelves are countless texts, relics, and artifacts collected by the church for over 1,000 years. And one of the most intriguing objects hidden in the archive is called the chronovisor, a device that can view events.
Yo, I misheard it. I cannot be the only one that misheard it. The coronavirus. Yes, the coronavirus. The erroneous situation. I cannot talk about that on YouTube.
Anywhere and any time in history.
I mean, I can talk about it. I feel like that now they're a lot more loose, but I remember when the pandemic was happening, it was very, very strict, bro. Like, they didn't want you talking about none of that. Like, no jabs or anything like that.
And for years, its existence was just a rumor. No proof of the chronovisor was ever found. But a book released by a Vatican priest would change all that. Let's find out why.
Comment part 2 if you like it. Bruh. We need part 10
First of
right
all,
now.
I went digging, and there is no part 2 posted. But the chronovisor thing, I don't believe that there's any device that's going to show the future. I think if there was something like that, it would be being used. It wouldn't be stored away somewhere. The powers that be would be using that thing daily to manipulate and orchestrate whatever they wanted to have happen. So for that reason, I just can't believe that something like that would even exist. but I definitely do believe that the Vatican's got a lot of good stuff down there that we ought to be able to look at. There's no telling what they're storing down there.
Looks just like a little packet of mint. Inside of here, a device that it will scan the Wi-Fi network. Let's say I'm out front of your house. You have Ring cameras, because everybody knows what a Ring doorbell is.
Oh no.
I would scan the network. I see, okay, this one is most likely this house, or this is a group of houses. And you can do this thing called a de-authentication attack. Select all the networks that you're receiving, which are going to be the houses around you. You send that de-authentication packet out to all of the devices, which then disconnects all of their cameras from the internet. And the crazy thing is, the older Ring cameras, and I believe most of the new ones, they don't have a thing called local storage. Even when they lose internet connection, they don't store video. It's not the only purpose for this, but this one harmful de-authentication.
So pretty much with that, can you raise it up more time? So pretty much with that device, can you show it, like the inside of it? I want to see that more time. Yeah. With that device that looks like a pack of mints, you could pretty much disable Ring cameras from homes.
Yep,
Crazy,
yeah, you can disable most Wi-Fi devices with it. Yeah, without jamming. So you're not actually jamming like I was just talking about. It's a different type of attack.
Yeah, so it's like, I suppose that it just jams the signals, right? The internet signals on that, and it stops working.
That's crazy. There's no way to defend yourself against that either. You try to be safe and protect your family and stuff and set up cameras and somebody can just drive.
Yeah, right, exactly. If like somebody, and I feel like that covering this is also like, what's this called? Like a way for thieves to look that up and buy this device, whatever it was, and use it in a nefarious and in a malicious way.
Drive by with a box of mints and just deactivate them. That's absolutely insane.
So there was a man who just set himself on fire outside of the courthouse where Trump is starting his trial, and they are already trying to call him a conspiracy theorist, and his whole manifesto is online. I have already gone through his entire manifesto since he just set himself on fire not even 40 minutes to an hour ago, and I feel like I need to get in front of the story before they try to deem this a conspiracy theorist related idea. Not only did he say he was going to do it, he left a step-by-step on his own website. Literally look at the title of this. It says apparent conspiracy theorist sets himself on fire outside of Trump trial. A man who set himself on fire outside of court moments after a jury was seated in former President Trump's civil fraud trial apparently promoted wide-ranging conspiracy theorists. This is the man. I am going to read to you his manifesto. And the thing about it is, how many people have you seen in the news being killed or killing themselves because of conspiracy theory? I feel like you need to pay attention. If the news is saying something is a conspiracy, it's probably not. I have it.
Oh shit. Okay, so this is my first time hearing about this. Oh, now I'm feeling like that the manifesto is gonna be like some completely different. My name is Max.
Feeling they're gonna try to take his manifesto down. So here is the link at the bottom if you wanna hurry up and go read it, but I'm gonna tell you what it is. So he released this right before he killed himself. And the title is, I have set myself on fire outside the Trump trial. My name is Max. I can't pronounce that. And he says, I am an investigative researcher who has set himself on fire outside of the Trump trial in Manhattan. This extreme act of protest is to draw attention to an urgent and important discovery. You guys, he did this to call attention to this. He said, we are victims of a totalitarian con, and our own government, along with many of our other allies, is about to hit us with an apocalyptic fascist world coup. He even said that they would call this a conspiracy theory. He said, there are proof of conspiracy. If you investigate this mountain of research, you will prove them too. If you learn a great deal about Ponzi schemes, you will discover that our life is a lie. If you follow the story in the link below, you will discover the rotten truth of post-truth America. I don't have time to go through all of this, but just look at what he says. He talks about Bitcoin, right? And then he says the March 2023 bank failures were all intentional. The banks were used to move out stolen Ponzi money, which he's referring to Bitcoin, I'm assuming. And he said this signals that they are no longer dumping cash in to keep the cryptocurrency Ponzi afloat, and that it will still soon go insolvent, as all Ponzi's must. It says when the Ponzi scheme goes insolvent, it will take down half the stock market with it.
When the Ponzi scheme goes insolvent, define insolvent, I'm assuming goes down, it will take down half the stock market with. Holy shit. So basically the guy ended himself to reveal this, and he must have thought that, yeah, right, people gonna, if I do it at the Trump's rally, it's gonna be big news, and then my manifesto is gonna be shared and people will be able to, yeah, but man, why end your life like that?
perpetrators use their major companies to pipe into the blockchain so they can funnel money out from the crypto exchanges. This includes Google, Tesla, Apple, PayPal, Facebook, Disney, Walmart, Target, Invel, Zoom, and countless others. It is a Ponzi scheme so large that it could create global inflation, which is why the price of Bitcoin has been remarkably leading the indicator for inflation rates. Victims who bought Cryptcoin don't realize their money has already been stolen, so their money gets doubly counted by the victims and the criminals who stole it. I'm gonna come back and keep reading it, but does that not make sense? Everyone is trying to figure out what's up with inflation and why we're sending money off. It's probably because of the cryptocurrency failure. I'll keep you guys updated.
Man,
there may be some truth to this, but
no
I'm
way
convinced at this point in time that the reason that they're sending all this money and stuff overseas is they're trying to devalue the U.S. dollar so they can usher in this digital currency. I think that's where we're headed right now.
Crazy.
They're taking this down like crazy. Watch. Look what they're researching.
Whistleblower's secret facility.
Taken down. I'm not allowed to have a camera in here, and I had to put it in a very uncomfortable place to sneak it in here. I'm inside of a top secret government research facility. You can see the grates in the floors. There are grates in the ceilings. What these grates are for, they move air in very quickly, fresh air. From
What would they need that for?
And they take it up to the roof. They pump it back outside after it's filtered, because without it, the air in here is contaminated very quickly. But if you still think they don't exist, why would they have research?
Yep, exactly.
So this is
okay. I personally did not understand that. Maybe I'm running on low IQ right now, but
the only reason I put this in here was the comment section of the video itself was
no, the comment section would be a true war zone.
Disturbing. So this is a great example of whenever I say that I don't like watching these fake ghost videos and fake conspiracy theory videos, is this dude is inside of a billboard. You can tell it's a white wall on each side. He's got the grate that he's walking on. There's like some air conditioning unit or something in there to keep it from getting too hot if you're in there working or something. But that's what it looks like. It looks like he's walking around inside of a billboard. They make no type of claim about what type of facility this supposedly is. They make no claim about what's supposedly being done there. It's just some scary music and a guy saying, I'm not supposed to be here. And another dude pointing to the video and saying, they're trying to take this down. Save it while you still can. It's just ridiculous. And the comment section is full of people saying, you know, where is this? What do they do there? People are gonna...
Yeah, like, I didn't understand at all, like, where he was, what he was doing, like, what... Yeah, right? And that video magically must have got, like, millions and millions of views. Guys, this was the last episode that we've done, okay? We got a ton of really great conspiracy videos, UFO videos, and this one, check this one out. On the left, we have another one, okay? If you have already seen the last episode of these conspiracies and TikToks, you can check out the video on the left. And I'll see you right there, guys.